Shalom, 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 family. First and foremost, we're going to give all praises to the Most High, right? We do so by Shema Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. That's who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, all right? The Messiah, all right, from the Davidic line, right? Our Savior, the one who's going to take us back to our promised land for all you blacks, Hispanics, and natives, all right? Again, first and foremost, again, I want to say all praises to the heavenly. All right, these are brothers from FOG, myself, Captain Azariah. I got the mighty soldier brother Canuck with me right now from St. Louis. Shout out to him. You there, Ak?
Shalom. Can you hear me?
Con. All praises. Yeah, Con, Ak, you coming in loud and clear.
Good.
Family, because honestly, I gotta get this lesson in. A couple of runs. I gotta run a few errands. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get to it. All right. Everybody see the title of the lesson, right? Esau was, is, and always will be rejected by the Most High. And if there are any Christians out there who might be watching live, who want to come on and talk about it, right? I got a little bit of time. All right, we can talk about it. All right, and we see if you agree with what the Bible actually says. All right, but we're gonna get to that. I promise you, we're gonna get to that. And I got a couple of precepts that I want to bring out in correlation that just clearly put the nail or the screw through the hole. All right, that Esau is finished. All right, and that he's been rejected and there's no redeeming him. All right, there's no redeeming that people. All right, and we can look at the chaos that he inflicts on people around the world, all melanated people around the world. All right, and we see currently what's going on in the land of Israel. All right, we're going to talk about that in depth, right? We're going to talk about current events. All right. But if you're watching live right now, hit that like button. All right. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe. All right. If you could. All right. We really appreciate it. You know, let's get this video out in the algorithm. Let's get this video shared. All right. We're going to bring out some pertinent information. All right. And we're gonna, Lord willing, through the Spirit, show a little Bible prophecy. All right. All right. So we see what's going on in the world right now. So we're gonna talk about some current events to start out. All right. But again, before we get started, if you're watching live, like this video, share this video. All right. And make sure you subscribe not only to this channel, but you subscribe to my brother Ash Ricard FOG, his page. All right, and the FOG Jacksonville page. All right, we're gonna, like I said, go ahead and get into it. But brother Canuck, man, you got anything you want to say? Salakia, man, I didn't even let you greet the people, man, and you know, give your salutations, King.
Oh, that's all good, brother. Yeah, kind. Like I say, all praises. Like we like to start off, all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
It's your brother Canuck coming out of St. Louis. And yeah, if any brothers in the St. Louis area, y'all want to get out here with me and do this work, you know, reach out. Reach out to the brother Azariah, mighty captain, or the leader, the founder of our organization, Ash Ricard.
That's right.
Reach out to either of those brothers. You know, if you in the St. Louis surrounding areas, you want to get out with me, you know, hit us up. And then, you know, if you in the surrounding cities, you know, you in Columbia, Missouri, you in Springfield, you in what else? You know, Jefferson City. No, yeah, you heard this message, you heard this video, reach out to us. So yeah, come on.
That's right. So if you're interested in doing the work, you see the email right there. Hit us up. All right. We are currently actively, as we say, recruiting, right? Because you are getting recruited to come into the army of the Most High. This ain't our army. This ain't our camps. All of the camps out there, these are all the Most High's camps. All right. We just the brothers in them and the elders and the brothers in charge, the leadership in each one of these camps, they're just stewards right now. Okay? But if you got that zeal and you in the St. Louis area, you in the Jacksonville area, you Baltimore, Dallas, Seattle are surrounding those areas, right? Or if you in somewhere that ain't near there, man, but you just feel like we brothers that you can do the work with, man, hit the email, man. Make haste as it tells you in Psalms, man, right? And don't forsake the gathering of yourselves with your brethren, as it tells you in the book of Hebrews, right? As some do, as we see that day is approaching. All right, the time is at hand, man. We in the fourth quarter, fam. All right, it's probably 2 minutes left on the clock. I mean, damn, they done set the doomsday clock at it's probably last time I checked it, it was close to a minute till midnight. That's thermonuclear destruction. That's the end of this world as you know it. Don't play around, man. All right. So let's get to it, man. All right. Let's get to it. So first, last time we were together, family, was about 2 weeks ago, right? And we talked about what was going on in Israel. At that point, I talked big about collective punishment. I showed that in the Geneva Convention and how it's against international law to do that, right? And that's currently still going on, right? You got many countries. Hey, look, family, many countries talking about that, right? I know they may not talk about it on CNN, Fox News, ABC News, whatever, right? But you go to other news outlets, right, that are in other countries. I like to personally get my news sources from a lot of the BRIC nations, all right? BRIC, what's that? Brazil, Russia, India, and China. All right, you cannot go to America and think they're going to tell you what's going on in the world. All right, but they are collectively punishing those Israelis. And what's interesting is that Israel actually has a doctrine on that. You know what I'm saying? Right? And I'm gonna show y'all. Right? I'm gonna bring this out because this, first of all, it needs to come out, right, because of the atrocities that's going on. And by no means are we in support of Palestine here. All right. Ain't that right? They don't, neither one of them people belong in the land. That's first of all, right? They parted the land, right, as it tells you in the book of Joel. All right, so neither one of those people are supposed to be there. And in Ezekiel 36, it tells you that the Edomites were going to take that land into their possession with all the joy of their heart. And that's what's currently there. Those are Edomites. Actually, the chief house of Edom, right? Just like Israel the kingdom was split and they beefed with each other, enslaved each other and stuff like that. Yeah, Judah, the Judah enslaved other tribes. All right, you can read about that. All right, but the same way, not like the white man enslaved, not like that. It's more like indentured servitude. All right, I want to be clear about that. All right, because they'll go run and snip that and say, see, that brother captain from FOG, he said that the tribe of Judah made the other tribe slaves. I'm talking about indentured servitude, which is it's like a form of slavery for real. All right. But the same animosity between the northern and the southern kingdom, that is the same animosity between the Amalekites, right? That's the chief house of Esau, and then the rest of the Edomites. So you got the Edomites, and then you got the kingdom of the Amalekites. But they're all still just Edomites. All right. And that's why the European Caucasians and the American Caucasians, basically the same people. That's why they got the static with Esau. All right. With the Jewish people over there, the small hats. All right. So let me show y'all something. I'm gonna show you their protocol on collectively punishing their enemies, which currently who they're punishing is the Palestinians. All right, in the Gaza Strip, right, and on the West Bank too. All right. So it's I believe it's called the Hannibal Protocol. Hannibal Protocol. I'm gonna share my screen in just a second, family. Watch this, right? Or the Hannibal directive. Let me share my screen. Watch this. Look, this is how wicked these people are. And nobody reporting on this, man. They don't care. That's how you know this world is ruled by white supremacists. All right. And that's why a lot of these nations, man, I'm about to bring it out too. I'm gonna show a lot of these nations, man, the prophecies, man, starting to come to pass about them. Daniel chapter 2, I think that's Revelations 18, that they're gonna hate the whore, right? The horn's gonna turn on her. Watch. Let me bring it out. Let me share my screen. Let me show this right quick first. All right. Let's see. I want this. All right. So you see that? Hey, can you read that from me out right there?
Con. Let me start from the beginning.
Right, con.
The Hannibal directive.
Right.
It's a controversial procedure that Israel Defense Forces have used followed to prevent the capture of Israeli soldiers by enemy forces.
Pause. So this is the directive or protocol that they use for soldiers captured by their enemies, mainly Arabs, Hamas, Hezbollah, things like that, organizations like that, right? This is their protocol for if they're captured. And by the way, it's basically the same way for civilians. They had soldiers in the Hamas attack that were taken hostage or kidnapped, right? Just like civilians, right? Keep going.
It was introduced in 1986 after a number abductions of IDF soldiers in Lebanon.
Right, in Lebanon, that's Hezbollah. All right. Right. Go ahead.
And the subsequent controversial prisoner exchanges.
Right. All right. So let me go to the page. I'm going to click on this. Hold on. That's not what I want. I wanted 1 second. Here, this is what I want. Boom. All right. So I gotta reshare my screen. So lock you. This is what I want. This right here. All right. So boom. Right. Right now, I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller. You can still see it pretty good.
Can't see the whole page if you need me to.
Yeah, I mean, I'll slide down when you need. I want you to just start from the top right here too, real quick.
Okay, yeah.
All right, start right here. Start where you left off, right there. All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, kind of.
Scroll the screen over just to the right a little bit, though.
The screen can't.
Oh, I got it. Never mind. I got it.
All right, kind of. Go ahead.
It was introduced in 1986 after a number of abductions of IDF soldiers in Lebanon and subsequent controversial prisoner exchanges.
Right.
The full text of the directive was not published.
Right. See that they keep this a secret. They don't want they don't want people to know about this, that this is their doctrine for conducting war. And it's outside of the Geneva Convention and international law on conducting war. All right, keep going.
And until 2003, Israeli military censorship forbade any discussion of the subject in the press.
See that? Keep it secret, right? Keep going.
The directive has been changed several times. At one time, the formulation was that the kidnapping must be stopped by all means.
See that? By all means. They're not concerned about getting the kidnapper back. They're concerned about crushing their enemy. Right? Keep going.
even at the price of striking and harming our own forces.
See that? Their own forces. They don't care about those hostages or their soldiers that are kidnapped. They'll strike, and if they gotta be a casualty of the war, that is their protocol, their directive. All right? That's what they're gonna do. That's why they have no problem with collective punishment, right? With the bro, I don't have time to pull it up because we got to get through a few things. But if you look at a map of Gaza City before and after, since this war has started, the last month, 30 days, I mean, it's like they've dropped the equivalent of, I think I heard it was like a nuclear bomb. Right now, there's no nuclear fallout, but I'm just talking about the devastation, the explosive power. All right. Drop down right here, and let's read this real quick.
Okay. Two versions of the Hannibal directive may have existed simultaneously at times. A written version, accessible only to the upper echelons of the IDF, and an oral law version for division commanders, and lower levels. In the latter version, by all means, was often interpreted literally.
See that? Go ahead.
As in, an IDF soldier was better dead than abducted.
Oh man, right? And you wonder why you think they got a problem with killing civilians? They don't have a problem with killing their own soldiers. Keep going.
In 2011, IDF Chief of Staff Benny Gantz stated the directive does not permit killing IDF soldiers to prevent abduction.
Okay. All right. That's what he said, but that's not true. All right. But that's cool. That is good right there. All right. So we got the Hannibal Protocol. That's what's being talked about now, not in our mainstream media in America, but different news outlets, sources. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about this protocol that has been being brought to light to show that Israel, if they have no problem with killing their own soldiers, right, then of course they don't have a problem with sacrificing the hostages, international hostages, whatever. All right, dual citizenship, whatever. They don't care. All right, moving on. All right, so also I talked about who's currently involved in this war. Right now, you got Israel and Hamas, right, or Gaza, you know, and then now who's joined, right? The Houthis of Yemen. You might as well say Yemen because they control the capital of Yemen, and I think 60 to 70% of the population follow the Houthis in Yemen, and they've been firing rockets at Israel, and they got real firepower. They got real firepower. I'm talking about that can hit the Israeli ships and American ships in the Med. All right, tanks, jets, everything. All right, and they're a proxy for who? For Iran. All right, and they've officially declared war on Israel, on the state of Israel. All right, Hezbollah, they say that they're in the war, but they haven't officially declared war. But they said if the genocide continues, that they're going to declare war. All right, I'm not going to pull up any articles on that. Y'all can look that up on your own time. All right, but as far as I know, I think that was the latest on who's like actively involved. So you got the North, you got Lebanon, you know, Hezbollah, that's an Iranian proxy. They're active in it, but they haven't declared war. All right, and you got Hamas down in the south, right? In those tunnels, we're going to talk about that too. Keep that in your mind, those tunnels and how the war is going, right there, right? So you got them down in the south. And then you got further down south another country that's Yemen. Yemen it borders Saudi Arabia. It's south of Saudi Arabia. All right. And they officially, the Houthis, they're in the midst of a civil war. And then also, I forgot, Syria, right? Right, Syria is backed by Russia and Iran too, and America just hit the air base in Syria, all right, because they've been firing at Israel too. All right, so we got a lot going on with that. All right, but that's currently who's active in this war. And I want to say something too, right? They trying to act like World War III ain't. Look, bro. I'm speaking as a man that World War III has already begun. I want to show y'all this, right? This is a map of what's going on, active conflicts, skirmishes, war zones in the world in 2023, right now. All right, right now. So let me share my screen. Let me show that. Active war zones. All right, so I'm hold on. Let me stop this share because I'm gonna make this bigger. Hold on 1 second, family. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. I bet that. So this is what I actually want. I'm gonna share this and show. These are the active war zones. All right, we see that, family? Right now, these are all the active. I'm gonna try to make this a little bit bigger. I can't make it any bigger than that. I don't think. Let me see. Is that making that any bigger? I'm like making it smaller.
I can make it bigger on my phone.
Nah, I'm gonna just. I think that it's not getting no bigger, so I ain't gonna keep fooling with it. All right, but so let me go to it. So it says that. Oh Lord, Salakia. All right, y'all can see that clearly, right? Right. So it says major wars, right? That's more than 10,000. That's the dark red. That's killed, right? 1,000 to almost 10,000 minor conflicts. These are how many dead. This is how it's broken down. All right. All right. Boom. So as we see, look how many active war zones you got. That's like Mexico, Central America, right? Large swaths of almost all of South America in some kind of conflict or skirmish. Venezuela, all that, right? You got this. I can't tell what country that is right down there. Almost all of Africa. So almost all of South America, Central America, Africa. This is West Asia, right? Through the Middle East. And then that's the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Is that what you think? That look like a world war to you? All right. And then particularly in this shit in the Middle East, right? As they say near the Levant, Israel, you know what I'm saying, Lebanon and all that. You got America there. You got Iran and its proxies there, which was Russia. You got China got ships there to protect its interests. You got Syria is involved. Lebanon is involved. Yemen is involved. You see what I'm saying? All these other countries, Turkey talking about getting involved. All right, man. So there's a lot going on. All right now. And like I said, I'm just giving my opinion, speaking as a man. I would say that like World War III is currently going on. All right. Boom. All right. Eight ambassadors from different countries have pulled out. You got countries like Bolivia, Turkey, you know what I'm saying? I can't remember all of the ambassadors, but a lot of outrage is going on right now with all that. All right. So watch that. Watch as different ambassadors from different countries start to pull their ambassadors from Israel. All right. That's what they call a signal. All right. All right. And the Israelis, they say they at the gates of Gaza. All right. I got a video I want to play a little bit of that it's going to give some context to what's kind of what's currently going on there. So we're going to take a look at that real quick, and we're going to get into the main meat of the topic about Esau being rejected in a second. But all of it lends to this, man, because of the devastation that's going on, right? The collective punishment, the killing of women and children. The Most High God does not like that, and we're going to talk about that a little bit too today. All right, so let's see. I'm going to start here.
Just before dawn in Gaza, flares light up the sky after a night of bombing. The Jabalia refugee camp in the north and Sabra district in the west are under attack. Near the entrance to Gaza's biggest hospital, people run for safety. A rising sun reveals a smoke-filled sky. In northern Gaza, a prayer for the dead.
Hey, and fair use too. Fair use. All right, this is our thoughts and comment on this video and this commentary. All right, fair use.
For nearly a month, there's been no electricity to power fridges at the morgue.
See that? They cut the power in the water. They won't even let these Arabs, these Palestinians. That's how wicked these devils are, man. These small hats. They don't even have power for the morgue.
Many dead bodies are decomposed, others charred beyond recognition. You
heard that? Their bodies are decomposing in the freezers in the morgue because they don't got no power, so they're not being chilled. Imagine the smells there. Man, bro. And look, they said people being bombed. These are innocent civilian women and children's bodies, little kids' bodies charred beyond recognition.
The Ministry of Health, together with the Justice Ministry, have prepared this mass grave.
Look at that. You see that? Bodies. Civilians. These people ain't got nothing to do with the war. They've killed an estimated 10,000 Gazans, women and children. 60% are women and children. 4,000 children. Okay? You know how many Hamas fighters they've killed? Estimated 60. 10,000 civilians to kill 60. That's collective punishment. All right?
No one is untouched by Israel's bombing campaign.
Like all families, some of my family members are killed, some injured, and some missing. We're now looking for one another.
In Jabalia, at least 9 people were killed. Many more are missing, most likely buried under rubble.
It's also against international law to hit places of worship like mosques, churches, and synagogues. All right? That's against the Geneva Convention, but they're doing it indiscriminately.
Israeli forces have entered Gaza city and are battling Palestinian fighters street by street and house by house. In scenes reminiscent of the forced displacement of 750,000 Palestinians during the creation of Israel in 1948.
See what he said? The creation of Israel. Because it's a created state. It was created during World War II. That was the League of Nations, would later evolve into the UN, the United Nations. All right. And the Balfour Accords. All right. Which was its predecessor was the British Mandate. All right. Where they came up with the British and others came up with the idea about parting the land of Israel, right? In which they were supposed to create a Palestinian state, a free Palestinian state, which was recognized by the UN, and state of Israel. All right, but of course they're truce breakers.
Tens of thousands have been forced from the north in recent days. Those able to get out head for the Rafah border crossing with Egypt.
This is the gateway to a hellish nightmare. I cannot even fathom to think what people are going through on the other side.
And I mean, this is real. People act like this is not going on. I mean, seriously, man, women and children getting slaughtered. All right, that's enough on this one. All right. All right. But that's what they said. They at the gates, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to talk real briefly on that. Is Israel taking major losses in this? I'm going to play a video where somebody talks about the state kind of what's going on the ground. Of course, we're not going to get this type of reporting through our mainstream media. But I want to take a look at this real quick, family. I'll just say that I wouldn't be shocked if the war is not going as it's being portrayed. Yeah, they're pummeling them with their air superiority, but we're talking about as they enter the ground offensive. How is that going? I've heard reports that it's not going so good for them. All right. And I had a feeling, I mentioned that 2 weeks ago, that I think that because the tunnels, like one of the hostages that was released, she said their tunnel system is like a spider's web, which means they can come out, attack, then run back and hide in those tunnels. That gives them a tactical advantage on the ground. All of that air superiority, that bombing, don't mean nothing because they can wait that out in their tunnels. All right. So let's see. I got a quick video on that. Let me that gets into that a little bit. 1 second, family. Let me find it real quick and pull it up. Let me see. I think that this is it right here. I believe that this is the video.
So fascist.
I'm gonna rewind it a little bit. Fair use. All right, fair use.
We maintain our military presence in Gaza.
Hold on. I want to start basically from the beginning.
The US security advisor, spokesperson John Kirby, all talking about the day after the war finishes. It's all nuanced, but it really does seem like the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing.
They're lost. They are completely lost. I would tell you, looking in hindsight now, the last month of this war, that Israel's assumptions, Israel's tactics, even Israel's end game have changed. The only constant is the destruction of Palestinians' lives and livelihoods. That's the only thing that's been constant the past month. Israel just wants to kill as many Palestinians as possible and destroy as many civilian infrastructure as possible.
That's true. That's very true. The proof is in what they've done and how they've conducted this war. All right, let's keep going.
In as far as the end game, clearly the three Israeli officials and that of the American position differ. They don't know what to do in the end game. And clearly there are these fantasies that are so farcical that they don't even merit a commentary, such as when the foreign minister says, we're going to bring the Europeans and the Americans and the Islamic countries to govern while we maintain our military presence in Gaza.
Small child.
I mean, the chutzpah, as it were, is breathtaking. Clearly they don't know what to do, not just with the end game, Suhail. They don't know what to do today. I've just seen a report by CBS News that says after a month of killing and more than 10,000 civilian deaths, Israel was able to reach and kill only 60.
60 again. Only 60 Hamas fighters. They killed 10,000 civilians. They killing small young children who got nothing to do with this conflict.
60 principal Hamas fighters. 60. 10,000 killed and tens of thousands of wounded. And that's where the Israelis are. They are certainly cannot reach the Hamas fighters underground. The resistance continues, and clearly they're even shooting rockets. But Israel's shooting aim has been the civilians.
You hear that? They can't get to the fighters, right? And he said that there's a resistance, and it's not going as planned. Clearly.
Wants Gaza to pay a price for October 7. It wants the people. And we've heard that from the Israeli president, that there are no innocents in Gaza. And hence, they are shooting, they are bombing, they are in the midst of a genocide without a clear aim of what's next.
They might not have a clear aim yet. Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State, who's done his whistle-stop tour of the Middle East, had his hands slapped, is now in Japan at the G7 foreign ministers meeting, is talking about a clear voice on Gaza. He himself knows that not everybody at the G7 agrees with him. France is certainly one, and now, Emmanuel Macron will be under pressure because a newswire has dropped that even opposition lawmakers, some of them who are supporters of Macron on certain occasions when legislation...
That? I was going to talk about that too. I'm glad this was brought up. Watch France, right? If France, look, bro, if they start to turn on America and Israel, watch that. Watch that. Spain, one of the major players in the European world powers and part of the European Union and NATO, right? One of their ministers, the Spanish minister, said that they should cut off all ties with Israel, that they should remove their diplomats, and that Netanyahu should be prosecuted for war crimes. This is Spain. All right? You got Spain and France looking like they getting ready to buck. You already got Turkey talking big trash, the President Erdogan. Right? He talking big noise. He said that they might have to intervene and send ground troops in. This is Turkey, part of NATO. All right? It's biblical prophecy, Revelations 18, Daniel chapter 2, right? The 10 toes, right? That's talking about NATO, right? The EU. How they weren't, that they was mixed, miry clay and iron, right? The two that they don't mix, right? Part strong, point weak, right? And then in Revelations, we see, right, that they're going to turn, that they're going to hate the whore, right? Could be Turkey, could be Spain, France, right? They could see that America's going to lose World War III, and those could be three of the countries, three of the horns that turn on her. All right? But look, France is like, nah. Watch that. This is a major development, family. Major.
Gets through in France, wants a ceasefire. He's under pressure. There'll be other leaders there under pressure from not just their own politicians and opposition politicians, but also from their public too.
Absolutely. Look, even now the United States is moving away from just a mere humanitarian pause. Now they are talking about a number of days at least, because they're also bringing in the hostage issue to it. But clearly, as you state rightly, the Western and the international public opinion are getting antsy, restless, in fact, angry, especially here in the region. The Arab streets is boiling in anger.
See that? He said the Arab streets boiling, and the Western world is starting to get antsy about it. That's why you got countries like France, Turkey, Spain. They like, this can't go on, the way Israel is conducting this war, and America is backing them.
At the site of this massacre that continues unabated in Gaza. But unfortunately, we have a superpower that has been so reckless, so irresponsible. Personally, I would think even so foolish to box itself in behind an Israeli government that is so fanatic and so fascist that its only aim now is to take revenge. And contrary to what the spokesperson of the U.S. national security is saying, this is not a war for defending the Israeli people. This is a war to defend the Israeli occupation. And
that's the truth. It is an occupation, just like the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, says. He says that Israel has no right to defend itself. Y'all can look that up too, right? It says because they are an occupying force and have been so since they were put there in 1948. All right. They have no historical or ancient ancestry to that land whatsoever. But the Palestinians, they still belong there, but they have been living there since over 1,300 years, since like the 14th century. After the Arab conquest and they took over that whole region, and then the Ottomans came over and they partly took it over, but the Arabs were still there. That's why it's called Palestine. All right, that's the name given it to by those Edomites, more Edomites, the Romans. All right, to take away, the name of Israel, right? That's why it tells you, right, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. That's the Confederacy, right? In Psalms 83. All right.
Which really poses the question. Now that we all know that the occupation has failed, what are the Israelis proposing? More occupation of the rest of Gaza. Now that we know that force and violence has not worked, what are the Israelis proposing? More force, more violence, which begs the question that they are, absolute morons. Because when you know if you've tried a thing once and again for decades and it hasn't worked, to try it once more is a sign of utter madness.
Does this create a huge problem for Biden? Because, well, it does create a huge problem for the American president because, you have this superpower who has aligned in the months ahead, if and when this war should finish, in whatever format it finishes in, it's got to try and bring the international community with it. And having, staked its claim so clearly to Tel Aviv, it's going to be difficult to win over those that were skeptics to start with.
Absolutely, and it's rather timid attempts have been so clumsy. Diplomatically speaking, they've just been so clumsy, because look what happened over the past month. In the first half of the month, the American administration boxed itself completely behind the Netanyahu government, parroting one soundbite after another, one falsehood after another about a human shield, about the need to protect its civilians, about why war must be, why Hamas is like ISIL, and all that humbug. It just continues to repeat one falsehood after another. When that did not work out, and clearly the Arab world and other American allies are discovering slowly but surely, but this is all falsehood, the Americans, instead of distancing themselves from Israel and taking a more sober view, they decided that they're going to start talking about the day after.
Right. Okay. That's enough of that one. But that's the point. The war is not going the way that Israel expected, and that's on the ground, and mainly that's PR too, right? Across media, how the war is being portrayed throughout the world, because nations choosing sides. Okay, nations have to choose sides in this conflict. Okay, right. So that's what we see. I got one more video on kind of on this topic, and then we're gonna get to the meat of our lesson. I promise you, family. But I just want to talk a little bit more. One more video about kind of how the war is going on the ground. I want you to hear what this guy what he said about it. All right. So let me see. That one. This is the one I want. All right. Boom. Yeah, this is what I want. All right.
In the name of national security.
I'm going to rewind it about to here.
At this point in time, the end game is not clear, just as it is not clear for Israel. I think it's quite a mess. And to be clear, Israel's bombardment the last 72 hours is a sign of desperation.
Whoo, you heard what he just said? You heard that, Kanak?
Huh?
You heard that, family? He said that Israel's bombardment, why they're bombing like that, it's a sign of desperation. Watch what this guy says now. Watch. Oh, Lord. Let me go back to it. Here we go.
On the part of the Israelis, clearly they're not able to make an advance. And their big claim about Hamas using civilians as
human shields, yeah,
is now exactly the opposite.
Right? You see that? You see what he said? It's ironic how Israel was saying that Hamas is using their people as human shields. But what's actually going on is Israel's committing war crimes, collective punishment using their Hannibal protocol, right? They kill over 10,000 civilians, vast majority women and children, right? To kill 60 primary Hamas fighters, right? Because just like this gentleman said, he said because all of that bombing, they're using different unconventional bombs and stuff too. Y'all can look that up, right? And they've dropped the equivalent of a nuclear bomb. But what he's saying, they're doing all of that bombing because they can't win the fight man to man on the ground. Their ground offensive is not going like people think, and they're not reporting it. But we're going to report it here for you, fam. All right, so make sure you like, share, and subscribe. All right. And if I'm talking good, man, everybody watching live right now, just look to see. So it look like we got about almost 20 people, maybe 20 people. Sometimes these numbers ain't right. They suppress the numbers too. So it could definitely be more than that. But if you're watching live right now and I'm talking good, drop a fire emoji in that chat for me. All right, and like, share, and subscribe too. All right. But again, he said that the war is not going. I'm gonna rewind this a little bit. Let's hear this. Let's hear this one more time. Not my words.
Clear, just as it is not clear for Israel. I think it's quite a mess. And to be clear, Israel's bombardment the last 72 hours is a sign of desperation on the part of the Israelis. Clearly, they're not able to make an advance. And their big claim about Hamas using...
I heard what he said. Clearly, they're not able to make an advance. They've been saying they at the gates. They got Gaza surrounded. They move in then because they're not able to, because of that network of tunnels that's like a spider web. And they're taking losses. They're not even reporting really on how many losses they take, so we can't really report on it. Last I heard, they had lost almost 20 soldiers. It could be more than that. I think that if they're saying 20, I would say it could be at least double. All right. So that means they're taking losses in their advance on Gaza. Those Hamas fighters are dug in and they ready. We think that they're gonna do all that and not be ready? That doesn't, you could not. You ain't, when you throw a punch, you ready to fight, ain't you?
Oh, can't. They can't.
Right, the Palestinians threw a punch, Hamas threw a punch. You think they ain't ready for the fight, for the counter? Sure. Man.
Civilians as
human shields,
yeah, is now exactly the opposite, meaning Israel is pounding the civilians in the Gaza Strip in order to cripple the Gaza Strip, in order to get to the fighters. So in fact, Israel is punishing the people of Gaza, the 2.2 million people in Gaza, for what Hamas did on October 7, because they cannot get to Hamas. Because Hamas, presumably somewhere underground, and it's not able to get to them.
Right.
And clearly the resistance against the encroaching Israeli forces is so vicious and severe that the Israelis are getting frustrated and they're taking it out on the people.
Oh, you heard that? Did y'all hear that, family? This thing, look, man. I'm just saying, boy, this thing feeling like it's looking like it's about to heat up even more. Because it's just like that insurgency that that Babylon went through in Iraq and Afghanistan, man. They know the terrain. They ready. They're dug in, right? It's guerrilla warfare. And I was talking with my Reb, and I was talking with the general, the brother Ash Rakar, outside on the phone, and we were chopping it up one day. And I was saying, man, that you know that you don't throw a punch, man, and you ain't ready to fight. I told him, I said, I think that when they start the ground campaign, they stop all of the bombing, which they're doing it actually simultaneously, because once they started the ground offensive, as this gentleman said, it's not been going as they thought it would. All right. But I gotta leave it there on that. Appreciate, man, all y'all dropping the fire emojis, man. Shout out to sister Latia. Man, shout out to Keith Kirkland, man, dropping the fire emojis. Shout out to the tribe, sister from the tribe. Her name is the Tribe of Benji. Shalom to you, sis, and everybody else drop them fire emojis too. All right, shout out to you. All right. If I'm talking good again, man, drop some bombs in the chat then, man. If I just drop this bomb to show y'all, to bring it out how the war ain't going like they thought it was. All right. If I'm dropping that, I drop that bomb, then drop some bombs in that chat for me, fam. All right. Hey, man, and shout out to the leader of this organization, man, mighty brother Ashford Carr. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed, go over and subscribe to that channel. All right. See what I'm saying? All right. But that's again, I'm gonna stop there on that, man. I'm gonna stop there on that. I may come back and report on it again later, or maybe the brother Ash, he's gonna be Lord willing going live this weekend. So y'all be on the lookout for that. He'll probably report more on this as well. You know what I'm saying? And they, other brothers and other organizations, they'll be reporting on it too. But that's exclusive, as I like to say, from your brothers at FOG, man, that the war in Gaza is not going like it's being reported. Yeah, they have pounded them, but they ain't killed none of the fighters, though. Barely any. Barely any. And they're taking losses. There's a vicious resistance on the ground. They got those tunnels. It's like a web, and they're coming out, hitting them, and ducking back in. They blowing. They also got their RPGs. I heard that they blew up a couple of their tanks too. That's why America need to send them more reinforcements. That's why they gotta send them more. And they were illuminating the skies too, because there's no power in Gaza, so they to shoot artillery. I have artillery like a flare that lights up the sky so that their soldiers can move at night, right? Because they don't even got night vision goggles. Like some of their special units got night vision goggles, but the regular IDF army don't, and they have to light up the city. You see what I'm saying, with those flares, so they can see what's going on, because the guerrilla warfare is going on. Right. The guerrilla warfare is going on. They coming out them tunnels, hitting them. Whoo! Man, this thing, man. All praises to Yahweh. God, man. All praises, man. He got this thing heating up, man. So a couple more news stories, then we're going to get to the meat of the lesson. All right. President Putin, the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, he submitted his paperwork for re-election. They have elections in Russia next year, just like there's here in Babylon, here in America. All right. Next year in 2024. If Putin wins his re-election, which they say he don't got no real challenges, and Pushaistia, if they did think they want to come up against him. All right. That's how you rock. But if he wins his re-election, that'll put him in power through 2030. So what that's shaping up, what I say is that's Ezekiel 38 is shaping up like he is the prince of Meshach. You know what I'm saying? Which is the ancient name for Moscow. All right, that he is Gog. That's what it's looking like. We can't know for certain until it all plays out, but that's what it's looking like. Again, he's running for re-election. All right, so y'all keep that in the back of your mind. All right, that Vladimir Putin, and by the way, I think Vladimir means like ruler of the world or something like that. I think that's what Vladimir literally means. So his name kind of is indicative to who he could be prophetically in the scriptures. So keep that in your mind too, family. All right. And also, yesterday, the Arab leaders, including Iran, who hadn't been meeting with at this Arab summit, they all met in Saudi Arabia yesterday to talk about a response to what's going on in the Israel-Hamas war. Whew. All right. So watch out for that also too. All right. That's the last piece of news I want to talk about. Now I want to and then I was going to play a video, but I don't got time. I got to get into it to show how the hospitals are overwhelmed. They're running out of power there on Gaza Strip. Premature babies are on the verge of dying. These people are vicious child murderers, right? Now I was going to take you to the book of Genesis, where it talks about the iniquity of the Amorites. You can read about that in Genesis chapter 15, all right? And then you can see the iniquity of the Amorites, that Genesis 15 and verse 16, all right? And then you can read about the iniquity that those Canaanites were committing in the Holy Land, what they were doing, why Yahweh wanted to get them out, all right? Which some of the stuff it tells you in Wisdom of Solomon is that they were child murderers, adulterers. But that main one is child murders, and they having blood sacrifices, all right? And you think that that's not what's currently going on? They are murdering children in the land of Israel right now as we speak. And the Most High don't like that, because he said he chose one pit and he keeps his eye on that land. All right. So let's get to the point, man. I know y'all want to hear, man. Drop fire. If you could, drop the fire emoji in the chat if y'all are ready for me to go ahead and show you about Esau being rejected. All right. Who ready to see that, man? All right. If you're ready to see that, man, drop them fire emojis in the chat, fam, and I'm gonna bring it out. All right. Brother Kanak, mighty soldier Kanak, hold for me Hebrews chapter 12. We're gonna start there. Hebrews 12. We're gonna start at verse 16. All right. About Esau, man. Esau being rejected, man. All right. We're gonna get to Esau getting rejected, man. Because that's what the good books say. He can't find it's amazing that a lot of these Edomites think they can find repentance. Look what's currently going on, man. Right? They are the main contributors of wickedness throughout the earth. Right? All types of adultery, murderers of children, bloody man. I mean, just apartheid after apartheid. All right? Okay, so Kanak, you got Hebrews chapter 12 for me out?
Cop.
All right. So go ahead and bring that out. Hebrews 12. And start at verse 15. I'm going to share my screen for edification's sake. Here we go. Hebrews 12 and start at verse, yeah. Start at verse 16. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. I got the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, and I'm going to start at verse 16.
That's right.
Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau.
Right, see that? At least they be any fornicator. When you look that up in different translation, that says there's nobody as sexually immoral as Esau, right? He is, man. He's a profane fornicator, sexually immoral, right? Just like those Israelis over there, those wicked Israelis, which they call Israel the capital of the gay world. That's against Torah. Huh? Keep going up.
Who, for one morsel of meat, sold his birthright.
See that? He didn't even care about the birthright that that the Most High Power gave him, man. He just didn't care, man. He was all nonchalant about it, man. Right? Talking about he was gonna die because he was hungry, like his folks was gonna let him die. It's ridiculous, right? Keep going.
Verse 17. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected.
See that when he would have inherited the blessings, right, which he already sold his birthright, and the Most High through the machinations of Rebecca, you know what I'm saying, and Jacob together, right? They made sure that he lived up to what he already sold his birthright. So when he was trying to go inherit his blessings, right, he was what? Rejected. Because why? Read on.
for he found no place of repentance.
So that means Esau and the Edomites, you can't repent. You're finished. You're rejected and you can't repent. If you can't repent, you always rejected. I'm going to show you how Esau been rejected too. Right? Finish that up.
Though he sought it carefully with tears.
Crying like the white, oh, you have a blessing for me? Blessing for me? Weak Esau. All right? Rejected. Always. Let's now, let me just get ready to drop the bomb. Let me show y'all the backup precept, right? That really puts the dagger in, man, the knife in it, and we're gonna turn the knife on him. All right. That Esau is rejected. All right. Now get for me that 2nd Ezra chapter 3. All right, you got that for me in the GNT?
Come.
I'm gonna pull it up, fam. Y'all got to see this. Y'all got to see this, family. Watch this, man. Hey, man, again, like, share, and subscribe, man. All right, y'all want to hear about, man, put this in your quiver, man. Get ready to put this one in your quiver, man. Right? Anybody talking about, oh, Esau ain't rejected, just to back up. All right? So let me share my screen. Oh, here we go. All right, boom. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, too. All right. And if you got it, you can read it off here if you want to.
I got it out.
Go ahead.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 3. And I'll start at verse 15 in the Good News Translation.
That's right.
And it reads, you made an everlasting covenant with him.
Right.
And promised him.
Right. When it's talking about with Abraham, right? He made that, Most High made an everlasting covenant with Abraham. Go ahead, read on.
You made an everlasting covenant with him and promised him that you would never abandon his descendants.
Never to abandon his descendants, right? Right, keep going.
You gave him Isaac, and to Isaac you gave Jacob and Esau.
See that? Jacob and Esau, right? Jacob and Esau. All right, but Jacob have I loved, and Esau have I hated, as it tells you in the book of Malachi and also in Hebrews, right? Keep going. Watch this.
You chose Jacob, and his descendants became a great nation.
His chosen, right? His chosen, his elect, and he made a great nation of them, Israel, right? His chosen, his elect, right? Read that again.
Verse 16. You chose Jacob, and his descendants became a great nation.
Right.
But
go ahead.
But you rejected Esau.
Esau rejected from the beginning at birth. Okay. Rejected Esau. Right. So y'all remember this one, right? Hey, all praises, man. Hey, man. Shout out to the princess, man. The sister Yapa Rakar. All right. Shout out to her, man. Dropping that bomb in the chat, right? See that, man? Because I just dropped the bomb. We just dropped the bomb on you at FOG, right? Put this in your quiver, right? Not only you got it in Hebrews telling you that Esau is rejected, the prophet Ezra tells you he was rejected. Israel became a great nation, and the nation of Edom is rejected. Always. Was rejected, is currently rejected, and always going to be rejected. Why? Because watch this. Get 2nd Ezra 6 and 9.
God.
get 2nd Ezra 6 and 9 real quick and bring that out, right?
This is the book, 2nd Esdras, chapter 6. I'll start at verse 9.
Right, bring it out.
And it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
See that? Because the Edomites, right? That's why he's rejected. He's the end of the world, right? He's going to be in power when the world ends, and he's going to be a major contributor to why the world ends, right? And then Jacob, right, is the beginning of it that followeth. All right. That's the new world. That's the kingdom of heaven. All right. And that's what we're going to inherit. All right. Right. And Esau's rejected. And I got a couple of precepts to show you why Esau is rejected too, because these are some things. Get Exodus chapter 21, verse 16, real quick, barbecue shop. Exodus, I'm gonna stop this share. And I'm gonna pull it out for edification's sake.
You said Exodus chapter 12?
Exodus 21.
Oh, slide.
Yep. Exodus 21 and 16. Verse 16.
Exodus 21, verse 16. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 16. And he that stealeth a man,
right,
and selleth him,
right,
or if he be found in his hand.
Hold on. He that stealeth the man, Esau came and stole the children of Israel, right? And he sold us. And are we not currently still found in his hands, Ak? Oh my Lord. So what's he worthy of? Keep going, finish that up.
He shall surely be put to death.
He shall surely be put to death. Esau's worthy of death, man.
Thus saith Yahweh.
Thus saith the Lord. Right? And then watch this. Watch this. To back this up, get Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 6. Isaiah 34 and 6. Real quick. Couple more precepts and we're gonna wrap up here, fam. Man, appreciate everybody coming through. All right, Lord willing, man, it was edifying, man. If it was edifying, if it's been edifying so far, y'all got some good information, man. All right, like, share, subscribe, man, and drop a few more fire emojis and bombs up in the chat for me, family. Really appreciate y'all, man. I throw water to everybody in the chat too. All right, family. All right.
Where you want again?
Isaiah chapter 34. Verse
34.
6. Yeah. 34 6. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna pull it up too.
All right. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 6. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood.
Right.
It is made fat.
Salakia, jump up to verse 30 to verse 5. Right. 5. Yeah.
Okay. Jump to the verse. This is the book of Isaiah 34, verse 5.
That's right.
For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
Who all Idumea, right? That's the ancient name in the Greek Edom. All right. So the Most High sword of judgment is ready in heaven for them. Right? But why? Because we just read in Exodus 21 that they stole a man, right? They sold him, and he found in his hand. So the sword got to come out. He worthy of death. Right? And watch this. Read on.
And upon the people of my curse, to judgment.
The Edomites are cursed. Upon the people of my curse, to judgment. They're cursed to that judgment, the sword, because they're worthy of death for what they've done.
Thus said the Lord.
That's why they're going to inherit that lake of fire and then chains around their neck, man, pursuant to many prophecies. All right. And particularly Psalms 1 chapter Psalms 147. All right. Their nobles gonna be bound with feathers or iron. All right. Keep going.
Verse 6.
Right.
The sword of the Lord is filled with blood.
See that? Because they haven't not rejected blood, the Most High said he's going to get them blood to drink. Right? Keep going.
It is made fat with fatness.
Mm-hmm.
And with the blood of lambs and goats.
That's right.
With the fat of the kidneys of the rams.
Mm-hmm.
For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra.
Right. In a main place where the Edomites dwell. Right? Keep going.
And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
That's what's coming for you, Edomites, man. Lord God's sword is bathed in heaven, man. Right? And it's filled with blood. He's going to give you blood to drink, man, because you a bloody man. Get Psalms 5 and 5 real quick, too. Right? Right? Psalms, actually, get Psalms 5 and 5, and then I'm going to close with Psalms 9 and 12.
Psalms 5.
Psalms 5 and 5, and then, but I'm gonna close on, and then after that, we're on Psalms 9, chapter 9, verse 12. All right, and we're gonna wrap it up.
Psalms 5 and 5, you said, correct?
Yep. We're gonna read through verse 6.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 5, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
The foolish shall not stand in thy sight.
Right.
Thou hatest all workers of iniquity.
For the Most High hate all you sinners, all you lawbreakers. It ain't that, oh, he hate the sin, not the sin. No, he hate the workers, the people who do it. He hate the person. All right, keep going.
Verse 6. Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing.
That's Esau. He speak leasingly like he could do whatever, like a Donald Trump type, like the former prime minister of Europe. You know what I'm saying? All these Edomites speak real leasingly, man. Right? Keep going.
The Lord will abhor the bloody and deceitful man.
See, he abhors that bloody and deceitful man, like I tell you in Habakkuk chapter 2, that he built, woe to him, that built this city on blood. America, right? Europe, right? The land of Israel where Edomites, because there is a bloody and deceitful man. And the Lord is watching going on because he said he chose one pit. That pit be Israel. All right. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, it's kind of choppy.
My connection is a little bit messed up. Lord, hear me? Can you hear me out?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just you come in choppy at times.
Okay. All right, we're gonna hurry up. Yeah, my internet is acting a little bit funny right now, but go ahead and get that Psalms 9.
Okay, Psalms 9, and you want verse 12?
Verse.
I didn't get that out. What was that?
Yeah, verse 12.
Verse 12. Okay. This is the book of Psalms.
Mm-hmm.
This is Psalms 9. Read verse 12. When he maketh,
12. That's right.
When he maketh inquisition for blood, he remembereth them. He forgetteth not the cry of the humble.
See, you don't forget the cry of the humble, man. All of the suffering. All right, the Lord ain't forgot about that. I'm in the NLT. right? This is Psalm 9:12. It says, for he who avenges murder cares for the helpless, like those innocent getting murdered over there in Gaza right now, right? And the blood of the innocent Israelites that's been shed, that's number one on the Lord's mind, right? It says he does not ignore the cries of those who suffer. So the people over God over there collectively punishing people right now, right? And they believe, they're supposed to believe, but like, I don't know, like 80-90% of those people who live over in the land of Israel, they're secular. They have underground parties on the Shabbat. They're not keeping Shabbat. And Deuteronomy 30 says that before they could get into the land, that he wouldn't bring them back until that they were keeping not for them to go, not for them the Israelites out the land because they was breaking his law. And now those people who claim to be the people, they're over there. Vast majority of them are secular. They don't keep Shabbat or Torah. All right. They're over there, have underground parties. The largest gay parade in the world is called the homosexual capital of the world. That's against Torah. Exodus, Salakia, that's Leviticus 18. Right? A man lay with mankind, he lay with womankind. Him and them both worthy of death. So the Lord will bring y'all back to be more wicked than you was even before? Wow. Man. But the point is, again, is that the Lord has not forgot about those murderers, man, those people who love to shed innocent blood. All right. He does not ignore the cries of those who suffer. All right. Mainly this pericope, if you want to read Psalms chapter 9, is for Israel. It's a beautiful pericope. You should definitely read it. But I wanted to bring out in context that for all suffering, children. All right. You got anything you want to add before we close it out there? Mighty soldier, my mighty brother Canuck.
I want to, we was talking about Edom. So I want to bring out, what's that? I think it's Isaiah. Let me see. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. Isaiah.
Got something, you got a precept you going to bring out?
Yeah, Isaiah 34. I don't start that. Oh, you are about that. My bad. I'm sorry. Well, anyway, yeah. Like I say,
anything else you want to bring out? Go ahead, Out.
No, that's it. That's it. You already brought it out. My bad. I forgot you brought that out already. But basically, let's just not forget, you know, what's going on over in Palestine. You know, yeah, it's horrible. You know, women, children. You know, that's always a horrible thing. But let's not forget about our plight over here, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when we going through our thing, I mean, nobody, I don't never hear a word. You know?
Right.
So, right. So that's all I'm basically saying. And then really, you need to take notes because you think this not gonna happen to us over here. I mean, you know about Jacob's trouble. That's gonna come to pass. So
that's right.
Right.
I got a lesson coming on that too in the near future, Lord willing. So yeah, absolutely.
Right. So it's basically like a precursor of what's gonna come to us over here on this side of the world. So that's all I want to say, family. So you know, y'all, we out here, you know, we out here drinking them big old glasses, Hennessy, and smoking on them blunts, and you know, got the double cutter, the dirty Sprite.
That's right, right. That drink, right?
Right. Getting these scriptures, you know.
Right, getting the text, man. Look, if you on the couch, man, eating a bunch of Cheetos and hot wings, like, brother, bring it out, bro. You need to stop that, man. Hit that email, man, and holler at us, man. Come do this work, man. Get some of that blood off your hand because the time is running out, man.
Come.
But read this. This is just one last precept on what last thing we were talking about. Read Proverbs 6 and 16 and 17.
Proverbs 6 and 16.
Yeah, I got to pull it up here. I'm gonna read it in the NLT. I got it right. It says there.
I got it, wait.
Go ahead, Khan.
Haughty eyes, a lying tongue,
Mm-hmm.
hands that kill the innocent.
See that? Verse 16 says there be 6 things that the Lord hates, and 7 be a detest, right? But the point is haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that kill innocent blood. Most High hate that.
Right.
All right. Most High hates that. But that's the point, family. But again, it's been our pleasure to be here with you. Like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't already, if you're watching it on the playback, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share it. All right, man. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back next Thursday with another lesson. But you may catch me again on a live with the mighty brother Ashra Carr. Again, if you haven't gone over there, go over there and like his page. All right, family. With that, we're gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Baraka to everybody, and this your brothers from FOG checking out. Shalom, family.
Shalom.